Welcome to Monday Math with Miss Call. Today we are going to be multiplying numbers with decimals. So to multiply numbers with decimals, we can think back to just multiplying whole numbers. So if I wanted to multiply 38 times 7, I would multiply 8 times 7 and get 56. I would regroup that 5 for 50, put my 6 down here. Now I do 7 times 3, which is 21, and plus 5 will give us 26. And really, because that's in our tens, it's 260. So my answer would be 266. Now for decimals, it works pretty much the same way. So if I wanted to do 3 and 8 tenths times 7, okay, one way that I can figure out where to put my decimal point is I can estimate. So 3 and 8 tenths is about 4. 7 is 7. And I know that 4 times 7 is going to give me 28. So my answer has to be close to 28. So when I multiply decimals, I'm not going to just bring my decimal point straight down the way that I would with addition or subtraction, but I am going to just multiply like I normally would. So 8 times 7 will give me 56. Again, I regroup the 5, put my 6 down here. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 5 will give me 26. So clearly my answer, remember there's a hidden decimal point at the end of every number. Clearly my answer is not 266 because I want an answer close to 28. So if I put my decimal point here, my answer is now 2 and 66 hundredths. Again, not close to 28. So I want to put my decimal point right here. So I want 26 and 6 tenths, which is pretty close to 28. So let me show you the trick or the way that you can think about this. So looking at this problem, if I were to look, actually, let's look back over here. If I were to look here, remember there's a hidden decimal point here and a hidden decimal point there, okay? Which means there are no digits after my decimal points. So my answer, the decimal will go right here. There's nothing after that. But in this problem, here's my decimal. So I have one digit that comes after that decimal point. So instead of putting my decimal at the end, I need to move my decimal over so that I have one digit after my decimal point. Okay, so let's look at this in another way. What if I said, let me erase that real quick. What if I changed this problem to, oops, wrong color, to 3 and 8 tenths times 7 tenths? Well, now all of a sudden, my answer is not going to be close to 28 anymore. So 3.8 is still close to 4. 7 tenths would be closest to 1. So my answer needs to be somewhat close to 4. So again, decimal here doesn't make sense. 266, not close to 4. Decimal here, 26 and 6 tenths, doesn't make sense. It's not close to 4. But decimal here, 2 and 66 hundredths, is pretty close to 4. And when I say close, I mean in terms of place value, right? So taking a look at this, here's my decimal, and I have one digit after the decimal point. Here's my decimal. I have one digit after the decimal point. So total, I have 2 digits after the decimal point, which means that from my invisible decimal here, I need to move my decimal to have 2 digits after the decimal point. So I'm going to move it once, and there's 1 digit, and I'm going to move it twice, and there's another digit. So my decimal is going to go right here. Okay, so let's try another problem. Let's try, how about 3 and 95 hundredths times 14. All right, so again, I'm going to just multiply like that decimal does not exist. But if I wanted to give an estimate, okay, 3 and 95 hundredths is about 4. And then 14, I can just keep at 14 if you want. If you don't know this fact in your head, you could round it to 15. But when I do this, I'm going to get 46. Okay. And 46. Hold on. Let's do that out just to make sure. So I'd have 14 times 4, I would get, 56. There we go. Because 15 times 4 would give me 60. Okay, so my answer has to be close to 56. So I'm going to multiply this like I would with any other numbers. So 5 times 4 will give me 20, so I'll regroup. 4 times 9 is going to give me 36, so plus 2 will give me 38, so I will regroup. And then 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I'm done with this, done with this, done with this. And because I'm moving to my tens, don't forget that you have to put that extra place value holder right here, because now I'm moving to my tens place. So 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times 3 is 3. So I will add these all up, and I'm going to get 8 plus 5 is going to give me 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 and 1 will give me 10, plus 5 is 15, and then 3, 4, 5. All right, so if I were just doing this as 395 times 14, my answer would be 5,530. But again, we want an answer close to 56. So you might be saying to yourself, well, Ms. Call, it can't go here. That's 5,530. Can't go here. That's 553. Can't go here. That's 5 and 53 hundredths. So obviously my decimal has to go right here, 55 and 3/10 or 30 hundredths, pretty close to 56. So again, let's look at that place value. So here's my decimal. I have 1, 2 digits after my decimal point. So again, from this imaginary decimal over here, or hidden decimal, not imaginary, I move it 1, 2 places. So 1, 2 places, and that will give me my correct answer. Excuse me. All right, let's try one more. If you're feeling good, you can click off and you can go do the work, but we'll try one more just to make it super clear for you. So what if I were to give you, let's actually, let's do a trickier one. So let's do 7/10 times 5/10. Now, 7 times 5 we know is 35. So thinking about this, 7/10 is about 1. 5/10 is half. So 1 times a half, we should get about a half. So let's take a look at this. So if I were to multiply 7 times 5, I would get 35. Now 5 times 0 will give me 0 plus 3. So there's your 35 right there, okay? Now, if I were to, again, think about this, then I would say 0 times 7. Oh, I'm going to put my 0 first because my next place value. And then 0 times 7, and then 0 times 0. So you can do that all out, but you're still going to get 35, okay? But now thinking about this, you are going to look, here's your decimal. So you have 1 digit. Here's your decimal, and you have 2 digits. So from my hidden decimal here, I'm going to move it 1 time. So that's 1 digit. And then I'm going to move it 2 times. That's 2 digits. So my answer will give me 35 hundredths. Okay? All right. So if you have any other questions, feel free to stop by the lesson or stop by office hours, and I will see you around. Thanks, guys.